What creek is this?
This is Witch Creek.
Well, today's hike is to Heart Lake, and we're going to visit the thermal areas there. See what, if anything's, going on. Christine, I don't know what she's doing.
Rummaging.
She's rummaging, getting snacks. You can't beat snacks. So we're about 2.5 miles in, and we've got 5.5 miles to go. Maybe only, maybe somewhat less, until we actually start seeing thermals. We have just come through Paycheck Pass, and this is our very first view of the Heart Lake thermal areas. Right down below me, I've got a bunch of bubblers, frying pans, all along that fracture line. And over here, I've got a mud pot that's, well, throwing mud right up into the air there, a foot or two. And I've got another mud pot or something over here, maybe just a fumarole. That's just a very, it's a very dry mud pot. I think we're obligated to take a look around. And that's Factory Hill over there. I'm at an area of fumaroles and little steam holes. I don't care to get any closer than this. It's away from the main fracture line on the other side of this hill, right here. It's very interesting, nonetheless. This is the fracture line, or some of it. You can see the superheated frying pans and some kind of discoloration in the water, maybe iron, I don't know. It doesn't look like your regular algae stuff, but I could be wrong. And then right over here, I've got two mud pots. Well, I'm down near Witch Creek. And we've got eruption right over there. And that is substantial. As these things go. The thing is, I can see steam below me and on down, and I can see other fumaroles that I couldn't see before. But I want to get a few pictures of that, so that's pretty good. This is substantial, whatever it is, and it started at the, we watched the pool fill as we came down the hill, and the eruption started at 11:46. Today is Saturday, August 31st, 2013. We could see it erupting from up on the trail even, and you can tell that's a substantial eruptive pool. Christine?
You.
I'm counting at least 4 vents. What do you see? I've got one, the big one on the left, the big middle one, and 2 smaller ones on the right.
Yeah, I agree with that. Totally. That is just...
And this is substantial runoff into Witch Creek.
It refilled wicked fast.
It is interesting that a thermal on Witch Creek would refill wicked fast. Sorry, I couldn't help it.
That is neat. Whatever it is, it's cool.
I will remind me to drop a GPS point.
Okay.
And we can compare this with Scott Bryan's book and any other map we can get a hold of.
Definitely.
With Google Earth, and maybe we can get this nailed down if this is indeed the upper group. There's substantial erupting over here. I mean, this little pool here rises and falls quite a bit.
Yeah.
As well as whatever the fumaroles are in that hill. But look at what's happening here. We've got part of the creek coming straight out of this runoff right here, as well as from up there.
Yep.
Let me move the camera around. This is what we're talking about. We've got a couple of boiling pools right over here, as well as the fumaroles on that hill. And then you can already see them there, but it's centering up on the camera now. Lots of runoff from, there's got to be a pool up at the top there, and fumaroles down below. And then back to our erupting spring right here. That's an impressive eruption though.
I love it. That's just really cool. That's on the right-hand side of that main crater.
Yeah. It's now 12:10, and the crater is more or less drained, still going down, and we've almost lost the last little bubbling in the side vents there on the right-hand side, and the runoff channel is just a trickle now. Well, I moved around on the hill, around and over the thermals, to have a look at Witch Creek over here in Factory Hill. There's, you can see the waterfall from Witch Creek over there, and there's several more pools. I've got one erupting right in front of me there. There's one also down below. And just to get you oriented, right there approximately in the middle was the is the crater of the thermal that we were watching that turned itself off. This spring has been boiling like this since we got here. We're maybe 30 yards from Witch Creek now, up the hill a bit. This one's viewable from the trail, however. It's got this, yeah, very little runoff. And Witch Creek is off in that direction. I've turned about 180 degrees. But if you keep going, the scenery gets a little better. And then of course Lori walks away.
Oh.
And we've got very delicate crust all the way around here. And a little bubbler behind it. That's the upper group. So the theory is right now. And we're trying to follow what we think may be the old trail as best we can. This is pretty interesting. See this waterfall? Well, this little drainage right here, fairly cool, you can tell from the green. Well, there's a spring up above. It's actually in frame, but where you see that log that goes across Witch Creek, that's about the origin point of that little spring that drains in right here. Very cool.
I just saw people walking through the trees.
Oh, now, let's try that again. Well, what you just missed was we think it was Rustic at the end of its eruption. And it was pretty big. And let's see, what did I say that was? 1341?
Yeah.
Saturday, August 31st, 2013. Well, we've made it to Heart Lake. Finally, past the ranger station out there. Now we're heading over to Rustic Geyser, which we just saw erupt from a distance, and Columbia Spring. There's everybody else.
Yeah. Oh, so pretty. Goodness. Oh yeah. Ah. Look how big Witch Creek is right here.
We can sit on the
Hey, look at the fish. Look at the little, like, minnow looking fish. Oh, I shouldn't stop right there. Hi.
What creek is this?
This is Witch Creek.
Do you have a evil laugh to go with that?
That's good.
Oh.
There we go. And we are at Columbia Spring. Where something made a bad mistake. Well, we're out here at Rustic Geyser, I think, and it just erupted 1415 on August 31st, 2013. We had several splashes, and it was pretty tall. That was well over 10 or 15 feet, I'd say. But that was pretty impressive. We may get another eruption before we're all done. Trapizodal Spring, you say?
I think so.
Boy, that's and the little runoff channel here. Some of it bypasses Rustic, and some of it heads towards Rustic. I don't know if it actually gets in there or not. Now we've got something bubbling over here that may be composite. That sounds like the safe thing to say, doesn't it?
I think composites, the crater on the
Yeah, the crater right here. We had a little eruption on that, right?
Yeah, I saw that splashing.
Yeah, that was right after Rustic. I worked my way around the opposite side of Rustic Geyser here. And Christine was just remarking on the unreal quality of the orange bacterial mat here. This is really something. And got a dry spot here, so work our way over towards composite here. See what we can see without getting in the way. Spring's low again, but about 10 minutes ago we had an eruption. It's 14:27 now.
We had eruptions somewhat recently too.
Yeah.
I get it. Composite geyser erupts from a pool, and there's the crater. It's the only feature in the world that erupts with two different types of eruptions, with a fountain eruption and a cone eruption. It's really cool.
Very small cone.
Yeah, it's very uncertain-like. You can hear it bubbling in there too.
Yeah. Well, we're hoping to get another Rustic and another composite before we have to leave, before our drop dead leave time. But Rustic's rising quite a bit. Rustic Geyser, 1432.
Wow!
Wow is right. This was worth the trip right here.
Oh, that's awesome.
I'd say that's going to about 10 feet.
I vote higher.
Christine says a little higher. That eruption was less than a minute. We're still at 1432. We'll keep an eye on it, however. Does this erupt in series or anything?
I really don't know. I'd have to read Scott's book again.
Okay.
That was
That was great.
Oh my God.
We've got water rising in Rustic again.
Water rising in Rustic. There's water rising.
Water rising in Rustic. Oh yeah. How can you eat at a time like this?
What's the water? It pulsates.
Yeah, it's got a little pulsing action to it.
Really cool. Well, I'm gonna go head myself over here.
You're gonna go over to the other side.
You get
Okay.
away from me. I am not a flower. Go. Go.
Waves on Rustic.
Oh, the fun we could have. We have water rising in Rustic. Water rising in Rustic.
I don't know if you can hear the conversation from over here, but they're just commenting on how quickly the water is rising in Rustic. And indeed, you can actually see it kind of pulsating, and as it does, it rises. This is a beautiful setting for a geyser. If we get another, if the water stays up and we get another eruption, I'm going to kind of work my way so I can get the lake in the background, I think. I've got this little bump in front of me. Am I seeing bubbles? No?
No, I don't see bubbles.
Okay. So you're seeing what I'm seeing with the movement? The convective movement?
I'm seeing convection current.
Yeah. So if we were being funny about it, about this time we would call waves on Rustic, I think. So, Mary Beth, I just want to say I love you, but you know, we have to have our fun here too. Definitely waves on Rustic. Here we go.
Rustic.
My card's full. Rustic 1445. Rustic 1445. Christine was just saying it thumps. That is spectacular. And it is now 1446 and the water's going down in Rustic. Amazing. Okay, we're between eruptions on Rustic. And we'll stay for just, well, at least one more. Let's talk about, I'm here with Christine Brandstetter. And what we want to do, I think, is talk about the common elements that we saw. We saw convection right before the eruption. And then we actually had a blue bubble like you might see at Fountain or Grand.
Yeah.
And kind of classic.
It had that nice doming of water.
Yeah,
as it
yeah,
started.
dome.
Very sweet.
And waves right before the eruption as well.
That was nice.
And once the pool was reasonably full, I mean, everything happened in quick succession.
Yeah.
And it was, that was really something pretty spectacular.
Oh my gosh.
And on the bad side, I was also trying to use just my regular DSLR and happened to fill up the CF card just as the eruption started. Oh. We think we've got one, maybe two, before we absolutely have to leave to get out of here before dark. Kind of the sad truth of backcountry thermals.
Day hiking.
Day hiking, yeah. Right now it is 15:02. And I think one of the good things that's happened here is that we've got, this is what, our third or fourth rustic?
Yeah.
We've got some closed intervals here. Yep. Rustic, 15:03, Rustic. Crazy beautiful. Whoa! So let's see, we've got Rustic 2B. That was sort of a two-burst Rustic there, or an afterburst.
I love that one angled one.
Yeah.
Oh, it sounds like everybody over on this side of the geyser had angled ones. Not over where I was. Oh no, no angles for poor Gary. See, and here's the worst part, they are not sorry about it.
Sadly, no.
Burst to 30 feet, not sorry about it.
You saw the burst. You just didn't get that nice angled one that we had.
Okay, so what we're saying here is that we've got the ultimate in geysers with angles like Daisy,
Yeah.
blue bubbles like Fountain,
Great fountain.
and yeah, we've got ripples like Grand,
And a very sawmill-like eruption.
and a sawmill-like eruption.
Beautiful eruption.
And don't forget the last finale.
Yeah,
The second burst, yeah, like Grand. We had a two-burst like Grand.
I was thinking plume.
Plume. Oh, that was kind of plume-like, wasn't
It
it?
was more plume-like.
There you go. Okay. Waiting for Rustic. Take two.
Oh, there it goes.
Rustic, 1520. Whoa. Just in case this thing turned off without saving, that was Rustic, 1520. One burst, 1B.